Hey there, I'm Nika and this is Nika Reads Books. So now you may be thinking, Nika, where are you filming? Well, I really didn't like the light in my room. I think it just made everything super dark and I think filming in here would be a lot better. But I really just like these windows back here. I think it just really makes everything look a lot better. I told you before that I was gonna be like putting stuff like up here. I still think I'm gonna do it in my room. There's a lot more wall space in my room. So during this review, I'm probably just going to, show you my room and when I put up what I'm gonna put up. So let's move on with the review. So the book I'm going to review today is The Maze Runner. Woo! A lot of people really love The Maze Runner, and I'm gonna do a little part in the beginning. This is how all my reviews are gonna be. I'm gonna do a little part in the beginning where I kind of give like an intro into the book. Don't want to be spoiled, but want to know what the book's about. Then I'm gonna do a second part where I review like what I think about the book, like with spoilers and everything for people who have read the book. So for those of you who want to read the book but have not read it yet or are wondering if they should read it, I definitely recommend it. It's pretty much, there's this boy named Tommy, whatever, and he wakes up one day and he's in like an elevator type box thing and he's like freaking out, and then he like gets pulled out of the box by all these other boys and he finds out that he's in this. He doesn't remember anything from his past. He doesn't remember anything about anything except for his name. This thing called the Glade, which is this like kind of a glade. It's like green grass and it's like a place, and then there's like a maze. And every 30 days, so every month, a new boy comes into the glade through this box thing, and it's always the same. He doesn't remember anything about his life except for his name and anything. So then there are lots of different jobs in the glade, but one of them that Tom is particularly interested in is being a runner. So what the runners do is they just run through the maze looking for a way out. And there are other jobs and there are other people and other stuff that you'll find out throughout the book, but really the most important thing that you have to know right now is that Tom is the main character and he's very headstrong and he wants to be a runner. Process of the maze has been going on for a long time before Tom, and the next day, after Tom's first day, a twist happens where another person comes in, and usually it's every 30 days, so this freaks everyone out. And everyone in this glade is boys, but this new person turns out to be a girl. And that's all I'm going to tell you, because the rest of the book gets really better after that. And so I really do recommend this book for you guys to read. The other books after it were not my favorites. I'll probably talk about those in other reviews. But The Maze Runner was definitely a good book to read. So you can skedaddle now if you haven't read the book yet. And for the rest of you guys, you can just wait until a few more seconds for those people to leave. So full warning, spoilers coming ahead. Alright, so for those of you that stuck around, we are going to discuss The Maze Runner. So my thoughts on The Maze Runner. Let's start with the plot. So I didn't expect it to end the way that it did. I mean, I think it was a great ending to this book. I think it really left you wanting to read the second one. As far as the plot goes, I feel like a lot of it was very suspense-fueled. I feel like the whole time the only reason I kept reading was just because I wanted to know why Tom was there, what was going to happen to them, why Teresa had suddenly come, what was up with all the grievers and all the stuff. That's really what I wanted. I wanted to know why they were there. Like, that was the number one thing. Like, that's like the number one thing you define as an author is why people are there, and then if that's one thing just taken away, it's like something's eating at your brain and you just need to know what's going on. And even when you get to the end of the book, you don't even know. Like, I mean, you kind of know, but like original things answered, but then there's just so many more questions, you just have to keep reading on to the next one. Like, after I finished it, I like immediately bought the next book, which I think is great if that's what the author was going for. But I mean, as far as the plot goes, I can commend someone as being a writer is if they take normal situations of life and then make people still want to read the book. Like The Fault in Our Stars, I think John Green is great. Perks of Being a Wallflower, books like that where it's like this is normal life situations and this is in today and these are things that people go through, but I'm provoking people's emotions through a book. And then I think this book was simply plot driven. I think that had that suspense been taken away and had you had all the answers from the beginning, I don't know if I would have kept reading, like for plot's sake. But yeah, that's my opinions on the plot. So as far as characters go, I think Tom, really liked him in the beginning, and then after a while I just got really annoyed. I was like, okay, like tried to run the place, and I totally understand, like at the end he was like so integral to the making of the maze, so maybe he felt some sort of connection to the maze and maybe he felt responsible for the maze, so that's why he was so obsessed with running, like, and you know, solving and like pretty much being the leader when Albie and Newt were really the leaders of the group of gladers. That bothered me, I think. I mean, I understand probably why the author did it. This is the main character. He changes the whole plot and, you know, he's the one freaking everyone out. And I get why that's a thing, but I don't like it. I really think this would have been really interesting if maybe someone else had been the main character. Maybe if Thomas had risen to the top gradually instead of going boom boom, which bothered me to no degree. And it's like that his character in itself really bothered me. And also he kind of just like said how he felt. He didn't really show it. He was like, I am sad. I am anxious constantly. I don't know. And like the other thing that was really bothering is that he was literally asking everybody the same questions. He was saying, going up to one person and saying, what's going on? And obviously they're not going to know what's going on. I mean, they've been in this maze for 2 years, maybe even more, and actually 2 years is the limit, but like they've been in this maze for so long and they haven't found a way out. How do they expect you to know now? Like, you know, he's like, I'm Thomas and I want you to have all the answers so you can tell me. And he gets mad at them. He's like, why can't you tell me? And they're like, why can't you tell me? You have more answers than I do. And it's just, that really bothered me about his character. That like the way that the author chose to write him was so annoying. And I mean, I guess maybe that's the way the author purposely wanted it to go, with him being such an annoying, insistent character. But I mean, it was just so bothersome. I really didn't like Tom, and I wasn't rooting for Tom. I was rooting for Chuck, and I was rooting for Minho more than I was rooting for Tom, which doesn't make any sense because Minho's like the bad guy. Well, not the bad guy, I mean, Wicked's the bad guy, but I mean, like, I was like, I wanted Chuck to win, and then he didn't, and it just made me really mad. Like, I wanted Chuck to get out of there, and then he died. I was like, Chuck was like my favorite character. I mean, okay, not my favorite character, he was a little annoying, but I mean, just like, I liked him so much better than Tom. I would have rather it be Chuck who was the chosen one, or not Harry Potter, but I mean, rather he was like, because Tom was just so exactly like that. That's exactly what he was, and it really bothered me. And Teresa I liked a lot better. I think she definitely also didn't know what was going on, what with Tom and such. Like, Tom didn't know what was going on, but she was less annoying about it, and I don't know, I just liked her a lot better, and I like really all the gladers a lot better than Tom. Tom is just, he just bothered me. Yeah, and I really like Newt and Albie. I really did like them. I really liked their thing together, how they were like best friends and how they were like going through all this together, and how they were like the leaders and everyone would like consult them, and when people go through the changing. I really like their characters, and I really like the dynamic between them and how they interacted with everyone else. I think it really made sense that they would be the ones in charge, not Tom, and how they would be the ones in charge, and how they, like, one of them was very systematic and then the other one wasn't, and then they really balanced each other. And I really did like, I think the author wrote Albie and Newt very well, and I really do appreciate that Albie and Newt were the things that saved me for this book, besides knowing the end of the book. And Gally freaked me out. Because, I mean, I think that's the point. Gally is this guy who wants to kill people, and he wanted to kill Tom, whatever, because of what he had seen, which I totally understand. I mean, if somebody sticks you in a box and then you end up being stuck in a place and you can't remember anything and you're taken away from your family and all this stuff, I totally understand why he was angry, but he was scary, man. He was just scary. Scary, scary, scary. Another thing I also really hated was that Thomas was the one who stayed in the maze overnight and didn't die. I mean, that just seems like something that, like, you know, the person that you really hate and then they do something, like, amazing, like, get an A on a test or get an award, and you're like, why you? Like, why can't someone else? Like, I get why it had to be Thomas, because it was like he's the one who, like, came back and he's the one who knows what's going on, and, you know, I get why it had to be him, but I really wish it hadn't been. And I really wish that someone else was the main character and was written so different, because Thomas was just so annoying. And I think it was, but I think the one thing I do like about Thomas is that he will, like, kind of always be there for people. Like, he was there for Chuck. Chuck and him were, like, best friends, even though they hadn't known each other for very long, and they really seemed like they didn't spend much time together. He was really there for him, and when in the end Chuck did die, Thomas couldn't handle it, and he punched Gally in the face and, like, killed him. Well, didn't kill him, but I mean, he hurt him very severely. And you know, he was there for Teresa. I think maybe a Teresa thing was also he liked her, and also he kind of felt this thing with her because they could read each other's minds. And he remembered, after he went through the changing, he remembered her and them being together with Wicked. And I think that's the one thing. And, like, with Minho and with Albie in the maze and the other characters, I really did like that. Like, that was the one redeeming quality about Thomas that made me not throw his book across the room, besides the fact that I wanted to know what was going on. But yeah, so as a book as a whole, I give it maybe a 4 out of 5 stars, if that's what we're doing, because I really did like the book, but I really do feel that was plot driven, and also I don't really like Thomas, but I did like a majority of the other characters, even Minho. I think Minho was, I think him being himself made sense, I really do recommend this for people who like suspense and who like not knowing all the answers, and who like books that have are about different worlds, or about different times, or about just, like, different things that we can think about. Books like, I think that definitely would keep The Maze Runner in books like, with books like Brave New World and 1984, like, kind of like government going wrong type thing, which I think is great, which I love those kind of books, and that's what propelled me through this one, and that's what I hope will propel you when you read it. Oh, sorry, I haven't been making videos. I know I said I would keep up with it, and I really only made one, but I have been really busy with school, and I've been really busy with lots of other different things, but spring break is next week, so I'll definitely have more time to make videos. It actually starts this Friday, so I will definitely be making the rest of the videos for the books I want to read. Then, so I will be definitely making more videos for the books that I want to make reviews for, and then maybe reading some other books, so that I can make reviews for them as well. I'm really excited for this channel, and I'm really happy that the few people who have subscribed to me are really excited for my channel too, and I really appreciate the feedback and the comments, and I really, really do appreciate all the support. So thank you so much, guys, and keep watching.
Type of girl to remain with the guy too shy, too afraid to say he'll give his heart to you forever.